It's November already, the holiday season is upon us, and what better way to escape the real world than by immersing yourself in the fresh November air? Whether that's soaring through the clouds, or, leading an army of ants? We've got it all. Oh, we did mention that this is all in video games, right? Let's take a look at some of the fantastic PC games we can't wait to play in November.
Home is not where you're from. It's where you find light when all grows dark.
We've all fancied having a go at the farming life, haven't we? Well, get your tractors ready, because Farming Simulator 2025 is the perfect way to realise those dreams without getting your clothes muddy. The 2025 edition isn't just about growing field after field after field of wheat and barley anymore. It's time to get your hands dirty with some serious rice farming. And if that's not enough to get you excited, they've also thrown in spinach farming, so you can help Popeye stay swole. Oh, and did we mention buffalo farming? Because nothing says ultimate farming experience like herding massive horned beasts across your fields. And you tractor heads out there are bound to be satiated with over 400 authentic machines from brands like John Deere and New Holland, so you'll have no shortage of ways to farm like a pro. As always, Farming Simulator is a multiplayer affair, meaning you and your friends can team up to build your very own farming empire together. Come on, that's the dream, isn't it? Let's just hope your customers have as much fun eating your produce as you did making it.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Is it? Missing something?
Let's face it, flying across a total recreation of planet Earth in Microsoft Flight Simulator is one of the coolest experiences that modern gaming has to offer. But flying with a job to do? Objectively even cooler. In Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you're not just getting from point A to point B, you're saving lives, delivering cargo, and racing across the Grand Canyon. With the 2024 refresh of Microsoft Flight Sim, you can now go on all sorts of aerial missions, ranging from aerial firefighting to search and rescue, even just a nice spot of photography. But it's not all work and no play. We'll also be competing in the Red Bull Air Races and trying our hand at low altitude challenges. When this is the kind of thing out the window, why not just take in the view? With an enhanced physics engine, thousands of realistic aircraft surfaces, and new immersive features like pre-flight inspections and dynamic weather, this is the ultimate flight simulation experience. And if you want to up the immersion even more, why not add the Astro A50X to your setup? With its Pro G graphene audio drivers delivering you the finest wireless audio experience available, you're going to totally forget about the world around you and just purely focus on the sounds of the flight, the beeping of your navigational system, and any vital communication over the airwaves. It's been a little while since we've had the opportunity to talk about VR, isn't it? Well, that all changes with this video. Skydance's BEHEMOTH is the game for anyone who's ever thought, you know what I'd like to do today? Slay a giant, terrifying monster the size of a building. Your mission in this game is simple. Slay gigantic behemoths or die trying. No pressure. Fighting a behemoth isn't just a case of stabbing your sword at its legs enough times until it falls. These are titanic, terrifying beasts you'll have to climb and hack apart with your own two hands. Thankfully, you've also got a trusty wrist-mounted grappling hook that will pull you towards anything that looks climbable. It's a combination of brute force and strategy as you clamber over these giants, searching for weak spots while trying not to get swatted off like a fly. Oh, and there's plenty of jumping to be doing as well. Let's hope you're good at that, or never mind. What kind of month would it be if there wasn't an opportunity to return to an old familiar classic thanks to a dazzling remake? November's remake offering is Dragon Quest III, which has been updated with a totally fresh visual style that retains the nostalgic pixel-perfect aesthetic, while offering some properly dazzling lighting and texturing effects. Come on, just look at that! Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake stays true to its roots where it counts, namely its strategic turn-based combat, but does offer a few new additions that spice things up. Orchestrated versions of the original's iconic soundtrack, a day and night cycle. There's even a whole new vocation to take on, the Monster Wrangler, which lets you tame monsters and add them to your team. This is more than a trip down memory lane. This is a full reimagining of one of gaming's most iconic adventures. Okay, that's enough grand adventures and almighty quests. Let's just chill out with a visit to Mirthwood. This little life sim lets you build the medieval fantasy homestead of your dreams, complete with the coziest art style you've ever laid your eyes on. You'll be planting and harvesting crops, raising animals, and upgrading your facilities to keep your farm thriving. That's not to say it's all peaceful. There's a whole world out there, filled with bandits, werewolves, and who knows what else. So grab a sword, bow, or whatever object is handy, and explore so you can plunder some treasure to bring back home. With a fully realized ecosystem and a sim-style interaction system for townsfolk, you'll be able to form relationships with NPCs. Though whether you make friends or enemies is up to you. Just remember, it can be a lonely life out in Mirthwood if you haven't got any pals at all. Okay, let's finish off with something totally bizarre. If you've ever wanted to lead an army of ants, and come on, let's face it, who hasn't? Empire of the Ants has been made just for you. This strategy game lets you step into the tiny, fearless exoskeleton of one singular ant who is just a tiny part of a ginormous ant army. But don't let your size fool you. You've got big responsibilities, Tiny General. Your mission is to guide your colony to survival and greatness. The forest may seem peaceful from a human's perspective, but for you, it's a vast and dangerous battlefield filled with enemies. You'll lead your colony through strategic battles, expanding your territory, and forming alliances with other creatures in the insect kingdom. Think of yourself as an ant-sized conqueror with a whole ecosystem to explore and dominate. And thanks to Unreal Engine 5, the photorealistic forest environments are brought to life beautifully, making the world feel as grand and intimidating as it probably would if you were barely a few millimeters tall. Ready to be the ant hero you were born to be? Your colony is counting on you. So, that's just a few of the games we can't wait to play in November. Which game will you be jumping into first? Are there any other games you're looking forward to that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to never miss another new update from us here at Logitech G.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse. But I was a fool.